Bend was pretty much my backyard. Actually was set up on a blind date with my husband. Downtown was very vibrant. It kind of fizzled when the mall came in. And I had a pet crow named Jose, 38 years, and you just wonder where the time goes. But, you know, time flies when you have a good time.
Hey, how are you
Hi,
doing,
how
Val?
are you? Val Hague.
Val Hague.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. Hey guys, so my name's Carson. We're here with the San Angelo local list. We have Val Hague over here. She's actually going to be the artist of the quarter for Discover San Angelo. So we have a little bit of our art set up over here. Do you mind walking us through some of the things you have over here?
Well, I've been painting for quite a while. I grew up out in deep West Texas, Sanderson, Dryden, Fort Stockton area, and the Big Bend was pretty much my backyard. And so a lot of the work that I do reflects the things that I grew up with and my parents exposed me to.
Okay. So tell me a little bit, I see you've I'm assuming you picked a couple of these pieces to put here. So tell me a little bit of this right here. This is just...
This one is actually like a cactus dagger, which are very prominent here in West Texas. You've got cactus, sage bushes, and of course the mountains back toward the Big Bend, Glass Mountain area.
Okay.
This actually is an auction item that they're going to auction off tonight.
Oh, really?
So I donated an auction item since I'm going to be their artist of the quarter. And then, of course, the other ones, I do a lot of wildlife animals. I love all the things that I grew up with on the ranch and out in the country that we spent a lot of time out there.
Yeah.
I grew up riding horses, working cows. I worked on a lot of ranches. And so I decided, you know, this is what I paint. It's things that I love that have been a really big part of my life, and the people that exposed me and gave me that opportunity and the love of the outdoors.
So we were kind of talking earlier before, just to clarify for anybody who's watching this video, you're not just talking about being like a passive participant in working on these ranches. You worked on these ranches yourself. And you know, we were talking about doing some hunting and different things, so you got your hands dirty.
We grew up hunting. We did hunting, arrowhead hunting, a lot of the cultural stuff we learned about, the history. Of course, we grew up with the greatest generation that ever was, and those people were a super big influence in my life.
Okay.
And yes, I did. I grew up on a ranch. I had several. We all had, everybody had dogie lambs, orphan goats. I had a pet crow named Jose that my grandfather was a cowboy that he gave me. I had two pet horned owls at one time.
Okay.
And of course, lots of reptiles, horny toads, snakes, different birds, and you know. And we actually had a road runner that lived in our backyard because we were on the edge of town.
Yeah.
So he was kind of a pet, not one to pet, but he was really a lot of fun to have around.
Yeah, so you've been around just about every animal in the book.
Yes. I have not been bitten by any rattlesnakes, but I've killed quite a few.
Oh, yeah. Well, cool. Well, I just want to say, one thing that just stands out to me when I look at your collection of some of your art right here is just the vibrant colors. Like, your style is just very apparent, and you can just see the connection in all the art as you kind of view it all together. I love the colors that you use.
I really love black line. That's something you can see that's prominent in a lot of my work. I outline a lot, and I like the vibrant colors. And actually, there was a colleague of mine when I taught over at Central High School. I was an art teacher there for about 23 years and coached swimming. He said, "Now I know why you use lines so much, because you don't know how to blend." And I kind of looked and I went, "Well, it's kind of true."
Yeah.
I'm not much of a blender, but I love flat colors and then filling those flat colors with textures and patterns and things like that. So that's kind of where all that comes from.
Awesome. Well, I love that. Well, let's go ahead and take a seat out here and just have a little bit more of a conversation. So we talked a little bit about some of your art inside and a little bit about why we're here today, just the fact that you are Discover San Angelo's Artist of the Quarter. One thing specifically that I wanted to ask you was, I know you didn't grow up in San Angelo, but how long have you been in San Angelo?
I moved to Angelo in 1980.
1986.
Actually, I was back home in Stockton. I had graduated from UT, couldn't get a job, so I moved back home, started working horses again,
Okay.
and actually was set up on a blind date with my husband, who is the swim coach here at Central High School.
Oh,
he
was a
started in
swim coach.
1978.
Oh, wow.
And we were both swimmers. I grew up as a swimmer as well. We had a
Okay.
good swim team back in the day. I moved to Angelo, got a job at the San Angelo Standard Times in their creative service department, basically their art department,
Okay.
and worked for them for about 3 or 4 years. But San Angelo has always been, when we were growing up, San Angelo was like the city.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of ranching friends and family friends that live here, so we visited quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always loved San Angelo, and San Angelo's been so good to me.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful, wonderful community. I've had wonderful support from locals that have collected my work, and just the people are wonderful, and it's still got that small town feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And it has grown. It's grown a lot since I started coming here. When I was growing up, the Cactus Hotel was still going.
Oh, really?
All the cowboys were down in the bottom. You know, it was downtown was very vibrant, and of course, you know, it kind of fizzled when the mall came in and this and that and the other. But otherwise, I went to ASU and got my kinesiology teaching degree.
Okay.
So my husband and I could have the same holidays. We did, you know, we coached together.
I hate to interrupt you and say this, but like, it seems like you've done everything. Like, you just like.
You only live once, and it's that my husband and I are both very, he's outdoorsy as well.
Yeah.
Not as much as the hunting and the fishing and all that, but we love to be in the outdoors, and we hike and travel a lot, and so it was really nice. I mean, we did triathlons, we competed as master swimmers. I got back into swimming and met a lot of new people through that in San Angelo, and so it's hard to believe I've been here 38 years, and you just wonder where the time goes, but you know, time flies when you have a good time.
Yeah, yeah. So with doing all those things, I mean, you know, we talked about, you know, ranching, going to college, being a swim coach. Where did art fall into all that? So was that always something
That
going
was
on
always
the side?
something I did when I was as long as I could remember. I was always drawing.
Okay.
So when I wasn't out in the pasture shooting my BB gun or riding horses or doing whatever we were doing, I was home drawing. I got in trouble a lot because I drew in some of my mother's really good art collection books.
Yeah.
And my dad was an attorney, actually, and I have actually a couple of the old law books from his library that have some of my drawings in it.
Awesome.
But it's just, you know, so and then when I got to school, started going to school, I was usually one that was drawing up the posters for school events, or, you know, we just got really involved and did a lot of that. And I never thought I'd end up back at high school because I was so glad to get out of high school when I graduated. And then I ended up back, but it really fired it up again because I would do a lot of the swim designs for all our swim meets, in Midland, Odessa, Abilene, all around that, and got back into painting again. And I've done a lot of different mediums, pastels, airbrush, you know, just oils, but my main medium is acrylic.
Acrylic?
Because it dries fast, because my time constraint is I'm always on the move.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's nice that it dries fast, and if you mess up, you can just go over the top of it. So it's and you know, and then I just got back into. I'm actually getting ready to. I'm trying to start a new series from Terrell County, which is Sanderson area, Sanderson, Dryden, where my father actually grew up, and I'm got a lot of old ranch photos from the old cowboys back in the early 1900s and stuff from our ranch that we'd once had in Dryden, and I'm starting to try to paint a lot of those. And I have painted quite a bit of that and sold all those. I have cowboys and cowboy horses and whatever the ranch life is.
So if somebody was watching this video and they wanted to see some more of your art, do you have a website?
Yes, I do. It's valhageart.com.
Valhageart.com?
It's all one word.
All one word? Okay, cool.
Just run it all together. It's real long.
So I guess one more question that I have for you is, we've kind of gone over a little bit of your history, a little bit of your connection to San Angelo. The last thing that I wanted to ask is kind of, if you had the chance to talk to somebody who had either bought a piece of your art, was familiar with your art, or had seen your work somewhere, what is something unique that you would want them to know as far as like either what goes into making a piece like that, or just like what you kind of hope people take away from the art that you put out?
I get a lot of feedback on, of course, the colors. People love the vibrancy of it. I've done my style. I can do super realistic, but it's so boring to me, and it's kind of predictable.
Yeah.
And so I just created this style, which is I got my BFA in illustration. So my style is, even though it's not super serious, it's got a little bit of not so serious style in it.
Yeah.
And the characters, and it's a little more fun. It's just how I see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where the lines come in, because I use black line. But I want them to enjoy whatever they get out of it. And a lot of times they'll say they love it because of the colors and whatever the subject matter is.
Yeah.
And they can kind of relate to what, if they're from West Texas,
Yeah.
where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's, not all, but the pieces that I've seen today scream West Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Scream West Texas. And it's really cool as we've gotten a chance to just hear a little bit more of the background and the inspiration and just the realness of
Mm-hmm.
where that comes from. Because like I said, when you're talking about working on a ranch, you're not talking about, oh yeah, I watched the cowboys do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
You saddled the horse up, you're doing your thing.
We did all the fence mending and
Yeah.
the windmill fixing and hauling and feeding and breaking ice and the whole works.
So that's
Learning how to doctor your own animals. We learned how, you pretty much learn how to look at something that's sick and know what they need.
Yeah.
So I actually wanted to be a veterinarian at one time, but I'm a math nightmare, so that was short-lived. But that's okay. That's okay. It ended up really great. And West Texas, it's God's country. There's nothing like it.
Yeah. No,
And
I
like
agree.
I said, I feel very fortunate because I feel like our generation, we got the best of everything. So
No,
hopefully I can keep spreading that and bring out some new works,
Awesome. Well, no, I love it. Everything that you've said just really resonates with me as a person who lives in West Texas and just somebody who's familiar with that ranching lifestyle. So all the respect to you.
Thank you
for
so much.
being able to draw from those experiences and create the amazing pieces of art that you have. And I'm so excited. I hope this video gets in front of more and more people. They learn more about what you're doing. I think the Discover San Angelo definitely made the right choice with somebody who resonates with the city and the values of West Texas. I'm just excited to see how this goes.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, because I want people to know how wonderful it is.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been really great. So
Well, thank you for taking the time to
thank you
speak
so
with us
much.
today.
It's so nice to meet you.
You as well.